Don't do nothing but tear down a black man. Look at it. He's nothing given. You never seen 50 give nobody no flowers, no respect. He just play on people downfall. Diddy, Irv Gotti, Ja Rule. Yeah. Now Big Meech. You've never seen 50 say nothing positive.
Yo, what is really going on with 50 Cent? Lately, it feels like everyone's coming for his crown, and the latest shots are saying he's not just losing beefs, he's losing cash. Big Meech and Rick Ross are out here straight up claiming 50 Cent is going broke. Yeah, you heard that right, broke. They're saying all this drama, all this back and forth is actually because 50's pockets are hurting. Is the billionaire image cracking? Is 50 Cent really about to slide out of that top spot? Let's dive into this mess and see if there's any truth to these wild claims.
Making that G-Unit film studio out there in Louisiana where that cheapest land at. You thought you was gonna be able to do it. You thought you was gonna be able to get them loans, and it ain't. What's wrong? What's taking so long? 50, who own your masters? Who own your masters? I buy your masters. You better shut up.
First off, let's talk about Rick Ross. Rose has been extra loud lately, straight up spilling tea and not holding back. He's claiming 50 Cent is struggling, like really struggling, to get his new G-Unit film studio off the ground out in Louisiana. Why? According to Ross, 50's credit is toast, trashed, done. He's saying 50 can't even get a simple loan because his credit is so bad. And Ross didn't stop there. He threw in a savage threat saying if 50 didn't shut his mouth, he might just swoop in and buy 50's masters. Yeah, Ross really went for the jugular, aiming right for 50's empire.
50 Cent says that 1090 Jake found paperwork that proves Big Meech allegedly snitched. 50 Cent posted, Tammy Cohen, the truth and nothing but the truth coming soon. 1090 Jake tomorrow, got that paperwork, you know the vibe.
But you know 50 Cent, he's not one to take shots lying down. He fired right back and he went straight for the jugular himself. 50 clapped back with accusations of snitching, pointing his finger directly at Big Meech. He claimed that 1090 Jake, the internet investigator, found paperwork, receipts, proof that Big Meech allegedly snitched to get time shaved off his sentence. 50 even teased that he's got Tammy Cowens ready to drop the truth, promising nothing but the truth coming soon. 50's basically saying, you want to talk about broke? Let's talk about being a rat.
But look, 50. Boy, I see you struggling making that G-Unit film studio out there in Louisiana where that cheapest land at. You thought you was gonna be able to do it. You thought you was gonna be able to get them loans, and it ain't. What's wrong? What's taking so long? 50, who own your masters? Who own your masters? I buy your masters. You better shut up. I will buy your masters. But look, 50. Boy, I see you struggling making that G-Unit film studio out there in Louisiana where that cheapest land at. You thought you was gonna be able to do it. You thought you was gonna be able to get them loans, and it ain't. What's wrong? What's taking so long? I know you wanna make your mama one of them walking stars thing put down there. Your mama live, nigga, call her own walking star. We call it renderings. You had the renderings, then you try to go get them loans, and ain't nobody loan you that money. You ain't even built the G-Unit studio yet. That might be why when I stood next to Meech, your knees buckled. Your knees buckled. Put your back against the wall. You're hustling.
Now, Big Meech and Rick Ross, they are loving this. Word is they're sitting back, chilling, grinning ear to ear, thinking they finally humbled 50 Cent. They think they've exposed him, knocked him down a peg. Interestingly, Big Meech's response seemed a little softer, almost like he still has some respect for 50, or maybe a little bit of love buried somewhere in there. He mentioned 50 helped his dad out, which is kind of surprising given all the beef. But Ross is full on savage mode, enjoying every second of this drama and rubbing it in 50's face.
Lil Meech, I ain't like his response. It seemed like he got a genuine kind of love for 50 on his response. But, you know, my response, nigga, f*** you. Nigga, that's my daddy, nigga, f*** you, nigga. Let's go to war.
Yeah, you made my son $5 million. How much you made, though? So you gonna stop, yeah, you made, yeah. You ain't just, yeah, come on.
My dad looked out for a lot of people, and 50 ain't do half, like, 50 literally looked out for my dad more than the people that my dad gave millions to.
Here's where it gets even messier. 50 Cent is saying he gave the whole BMF family $5 million in legal funds. $5 million. And he's scratching his head, wondering where the heck that money went. He's looking at Lil Meech, Big Meech's son, and seeing a whole lot of flashy spending, but not a lot of smart moves, 50 feels betrayed, especially after seeing Big Meech link up with Rick Ross right after getting out of jail. It's like a slap in the face after all the support he claims he gave.
50 Cent says he gave the BMF family $5 million legal dollars, so he does not understand where the money went, how Lil Meech blew it before Big Meech got out of jail, but he feels extremely betrayed after that picture got taken between Big Meech and Rick Ross after he got out of jail.
I looked at it like, from that point, maybe 50 should have brung a bag for Meech and maybe a watch or something, because obviously that's what Ross did or whatever, you know what I'm saying, but that's what I had in mind.
And speaking of slaps in the face, remember that Big Meech Welcome Home concert with Rick Ross? Yeah, that thing got canceled. Last minute, no clear reason. And guess who the streets immediately pointed fingers at? 50 Cent. People were convinced 50 was working behind the scenes, pulling strings, trying to block Meech from getting paid, especially since he teamed up with his arch nemesis, Ross. 50, of course, denied it up and down, swearing he had nothing to do with it, but Rick Ross wasn't buying it for a second. He went straight for the insults, calling 50 a hurt H*E and telling him to quit crying just because Meech and Ross were winning without him. That's some next level disrespect right there. Let's rewind for a second and remember the root of this beef. 50 Cent has never been a fan of this Meech-Ross partnership. From day one, he was throwing jabs, calling Meech a rat, and forever branding Rick Ross as Officer Ricky. In 50's world, if you're rolling with Ross, you can't be trusted, period. He's made it crystal clear. Loyalty is everything, and anyone siding with his rivals is automatically an enemy. But this beef isn't just about words and insults, it's getting deep, personal, and potentially damaging. 50 Cent dropped a bombshell. He's working on a tell-all documentary focused on Tammy Cowens. Now, Tammy isn't just some random person. Word on the street is her bond with Big Meech went way deeper than just friendship, and here's the kicker. Big Meech sold his life rights to Tammy. That means legally, she's the only one who can tell his story in books, movies, documentaries, you name it. So, if 50 and Tammy are cooking something up, Big Meech could be in for some serious, uncomfortable exposure. And while Big Meech is facing potential documentary drama, let's talk about his son, Lil Meech, and that $5 million. Remember that BMF show 50 produced? Lil Meech starred in it, and he made bank. Over $5 million to be exact. But instead of investing, saving, or even just stashing some away for a rainy day, Lil Meech reportedly blew it all. Exotic cars, iced out chains, designer everything, he went wild, living the high life like there was no tomorrow. No savings, no investments, nothing. And now his dad is out of jail, supposedly broke, and Lil Meech is reportedly broke too. Tony Yayo even had to step in and call him out publicly, dragging him for being so financially irresponsible. So, with 50 Cent really turning up the heat on Big Meech, Lil Meech reportedly tried to slide into 50's DMs, trying to smooth things over, playing the loyalty card. He claimed the Rick Ross collab was just a quick move to help his dad pay some bills while they waited for the next BMF season. He even said he couldn't believe 50 was acting like he was the enemy, saying he'd always shown love and loyalty. Sounded emotional, right? But 50 Cent wasn't having any of it. He clapped back ice cold. He posted Lil Meech's DM for everyone to see with the caption, "What next season?" And just like that, boom, 50 shut down the entire BMF series. Digital execution, plain and simple. Then came the nuclear bomb. 50 announced he's taking the BMF story in a whole new direction, teaming up with Tammy Cowens for a full-blown expose documentary. He's calling it out loud and clear. He's ready to reveal the truth about Big Screech, his not-so-slick nickname for Big Meech. This announcement hit hard, especially for Lil Meech. No more BMF checks, empty table. And we already know how Lil Meech handled his last $5 million gone in a flash. Meanwhile, Rick Ross, never one to back down, jumped back in, claiming he was going to drop his own BMF series, saying it would blow anything 50's G-Unit studio ever made out the water. Bold talk, right? But here's the reality check. 50 Cent owns the rights to the BMF franchise. Sources told TMZ that Ross can't even touch a BMF project without 50's permission. And let's be real, there's a 0% chance 50 is ever giving that green light to Rick Ross. But the drama, it keeps escalating. As soon as 50 made it clear the BMF checks were done, loyalty went out the window fast. Big Meech and Lil Meech seemingly switched sides overnight, suddenly hanging out with 50's known enemies like it was all just a game. Lil Meech was spotted at clubs chilling with Rick Ross, posting pics online, clearly trying to get under 50's skin, pure trolling. Then they turned it up to 11. Big Meech and Lil Meech linked up with Floyd Mayweather, another heavyweight on 50 Cent's long list of rivals. Lil Meech even dropped a photo with Floyd captioning it "Real Power," a direct jab at 50's hit show Power. That wasn't just shade, that was a full-on diss track in picture form. Even Boozy, who's usually pretty chill, had something to say about Lil Meech's behavior. Boozy sent a message to 50 saying if he were Lil Meech there wouldn't be any confusion. He'd be standing by his father no matter what, no hesitation. Then 50 finally broke his silence and laid it all out there. He explained why he felt so betrayed seeing Meech and Lil Meech with his enemies. He said, "I did more for Meech than anyone in his life." He talked about being the first call Meech made when he got locked up, bailing him out, always being there. Then to see Meech laughing and posting with his rivals, 50 felt like Meech was a snake just like them. It wasn't just about emotions either. 50 was talking about real investment. He said he stepped in as a father figure for Lil Meech while Big Meech was locked down, sent him to acting school, cleaned him up when he was going through it, and filled his pockets so he wouldn't have to touch the streets. But according to 50, everything changed when Big Meech came home. That's when the bad advice started. While 50 was trying to guide Lil Meech, telling him to be smart with his money, Big Meech was reportedly hyping up reckless spending and glorifying the wildlife. 50 said Big Meech was uncomfortable with his bond with Lil Meech and was undermining his positive influence. And it gets even deeper. 50 revealed he even had to send Lil Meech to rehab. He said actor Russell Hornsby witnessed Lil Meech showing up to set high as a kite, throwing up during a weapons test. This wasn't just about a TV show or some beef, this was real life, and 50 felt like he was watching someone he helped raise spiral out of control. Then Ian, another person involved, told 50 that Big Meech had whippets stashed in his truck. 50 had to Google what whippets even were. Nitrous oxide canisters people use to get high. Total mess. After everything 50 did, to see them throw it all away and then start throwing shade at him, crazy behavior. But guess what? They are not stopping. In fact, they're turning it up another notch. Rick Ross is back on his trolling wave, once again clowning 50 Cent, this time saying he's broke and can't even finish building his new studio. Ross claimed 50's credit is shot, no bank wants to touch him, and he's stuck with no cash flow. And then Ross dropped the ultimate disrespect, threatening to buy 50's masters just so 50 could finally have a few dollars in his pockets. Disrespect max volume. Word is 50 was furious when he saw that, furious. He started talking about dropping receipts to show the world who's really broke out here. And in classic 50 fashion, he laughed off the idea that Big Meech had any real impact on his money. He basically said, "Y'all think this beef means something to my pockets? Please, let's be honest. How much weight does Big Meech really carry these days?" He's saying this ain't 2005 anymore, it's 2025, the world is falling apart and nobody cares about some ex-con chasing old fame. But just when you think the drama is cooling down, 50 Cent does what he always does. He flips the script. Out of nowhere, he hinted at launching a true crime docuseries. Not just about Big Meech, but about everyone who has ever crossed him. He said, "Y'all love stories, right? Cool. I got one for every snake that tried to bite the hand that fed him." Cold-blooded. Insiders say he's already got episodes lined up, with interviews, paper trails, and exclusive footage that will put multiple people on blast. Meech, Ross, and even some unexpected names from the rap world. Word is he's ready to burn bridges and build studios with the ashes. Meanwhile, Lil Meech has gone dead silent. No new acting gigs, no music drops, social media looking dry. Some fans think he's laying low, trying to ride out the storm. Others say he's waiting for Rick Ross to throw him a lifeline. But so far, Ross is too busy taking jabs at 50 and flexing like he's got it all figured out. And Big Meech? Quiet too, publicly. But sources say he's furious behind closed doors. He never expected 50 to flip on him this hard. And now, with this docuseries in the works, there's real fear that some serious skeletons are about to come flying out of the closet. The tension is thick. The power dynamic has completely shifted. Once upon a time, 50 was the one handing out favors, changing lives. Now he's turning into the final boss of this whole saga. One move away from potentially ending careers and rewriting the entire BMF legacy. Looks like 50 Cent wasn't lying when he clowned Big Meech, calling him a wannabe Pablo Escobar. The idea that Meech is out here with so much pull that his little feud could actually mess with 50's bag? Come on now, that's straight up comedy. Let's keep it real. 50's gone toe to toe with way bigger names in the game, and it never put a dent in his bank account. Still, 50 being 50, he's turning all this mess into content, trolling the whole situation, laughing off the broke rumors, throwing slick shots like it's just another Tuesday. But it's definitely got people talking. So the real questions are, Is 50 Cent actually going broke? And if so, is it because of this public beef storm, or is Rick Ross just projecting, trying to distract from his own financial issues? Drop your take in the comments below, because this saga has got more twists than a soap opera. And when you're done, go ahead and hit that next video. Trust me, it gets even crazier.